Good afternoon and welcome to the formal City Council meeting for Wednesday, April 15th. We'll begin this meeting with an invocation from Jackie Pagel from Trinity Lutheran Church. Please rise.
Greetings. In full recognition that there is power beyond ourselves, we invite that power here and ask for prayer and mercy. Lord of all, you have declared what is right, to seek justice, to love kindness, and to walk humbly with you. Bless all who gather, judges, courts, council members, and the people who are served, juries and law officers throughout our land. Guard them all, guard us all, keep us safe. Give us the wisdom that we may perceive the truth and administer the law impartially as instruments of your divine will. We ask this in the name of the one who will come to ultimately be our judge, the Son, Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor Pagel. Our Pledge of Allegiance will be led by District 8 Councilwoman Kate Gallego. City Clerk, roll call.
Councilman DeCiccio. Here. Councilman Gallego.
Here.
Councilman Gates.
Here.
Councilman Nowakowski. Councilwoman Pastor. Councilman Waring. Here. Councilwoman Williams.
Here.
Vice Mayor Valenzuela.
Here.
Mayor Stanton.
Thank you. If we can have our interpreter introduced.
Mi nombre es Leticia Márquez y si necesita ayuda o traducción al español, por favor, véame. Gracias.
Thank you, Ms. Leticia Marquez. City Clerk's 24-hour paragraph.
The titles of the following ordinance and resolution numbers on the agenda were available to the public at least 24 hours prior to this council meeting and therefore may be read by title or agenda item only. Ordinances number G6017 through G6020, S41510, S41571 through S41613, and resolutions number 21315 through 21319.
Thank you. Now the approval for the minutes, January 21st. Okay, we're waiting on, why don't we go to the approval of the February 4th minutes? Councilwoman Williams, do we have a motion?
Yes, I did review them, seem that they are in order and move approval.
We have a motion?
Second.
Second. We have a motion and a second for the February 4th minutes. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. Motion passes. Do we have a motion for the February 18th minutes, Councilman Waring? We have a motion
Second.
and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any nays? Motion carries. Councilwoman Williams, do we have a motion for March 4th, the minutes for March 4th, 2015?
I will move approval. I believe them to be correct.
We do have a motion,
Second.
a second. All in favor? Aye. Okay. Motion carries. Okay, the boards and commissions, we have a motion for the mayor's boards and commissions nominations.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Do we have anyone here that needs to be sworn in? Okay. Great.
Okay, Vice Mayor, what next item on the agenda?
What I'd like to do, yeah, we want, I need a, Councilman Pastor, do we have a motion for the February 4th, 2014 minutes?
January
I'm
21st,
sorry.
2015. I move the approval.
We have a motion, we have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That item passes unanimously. There's been a request to take a few items out of order. Vice Mayor, can we get a motion to adjust the agenda so we can take certain items out of order?
I believe we have to wait for one more member, Mayor.
We have to wait. Okay, so we can move with our regular agenda. Then when our next, our final member comes, we can do that. Okay, next item, Vice Mayor.
Yeah, stand by.
Liquor licenses, is that
Right.
next on the agenda?
Yes. Motion to approve items 1 through 20 on the agenda.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? Are there any cards on that item? We have a few cards, but they are all in favor, not wishing to speak. We'll make sure they get submitted for the record. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That item passes unanimously. Item number 21 is in District 4, a modification of stipulation. Councilman Pastor, you have a motion on item number 21.
Item, request to approve planning hearing officer's recommendation without further hearing by the city council on a matter heard by the planning hearing officer on Wednesday, March 18th, 2015.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Do we have any cards on that item? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Passes unanimously. We have a motion on ordinances and resolutions in omnibus. Vice Mayor?
Motion to approve items 22 through 71, except items 24, 25I and M, 28, 45, 46, 48, 62, and 65, also noting add-on item 23.1, item 26 and 29 are being requested to be withdrawn. Items 45 and 54 are being requested to be continued to April 22nd, 2015. Add-on items 66.1 is as corrected and excluding these items for public comment.
But, no, Vice Mayor.
Holding out 63 as well.
Okay, so 63 we'll hand individually later on, then Councilman Gates.
Yeah.
We'll hold that out.
I'm not asking to have 25M pulled out. Oh, that's a card,
Yeah, but-
sorry, okay.
So excluding
The
25.
25M will be included
Yeah.
in the motion, will
Yeah.
not be excluded from the motion.
Right.
Okay, excellent.
Right. Got it.
And holding out the following items?
Holding out the following items. This 20, confirm that, please. 25, 28, 37, 39, 42, and 54 for cards.
Okay, so we have an omnibus motion. Do we have a second on the omnibus motion? We have a second. None of the items on the omnibus motion have cards for public comment. All in, roll call.
DeCiccio. Gallego.
Yes.
Gates.
Yes.
Noakowski. Pastor.
Yes.
Waring. Williams.
Yes.
Valenzuela.
Yes.
Mayor Stanton.
Yes. Next item on the agenda, I believe, is item number 24. Vice Mayor, is that correct? Item 24. Do I have a motion on item number 24? Do
Motion to approve item 24.
we have a second?
Second.
Councilman Gates, did you have comments on item number 24?
Yes, actually, Mayor, if maybe the city manager could, I've been working with the city manager on this item, maybe he could just comment on this briefly.
Please.
Thank you, Mayor. Members of the council, this item was originally requested to be continued for more information about the firms being recommended. Staff did go back in and review. In the previous contract expenditure, almost 80% of the spend by the City of Phoenix was with Courtesy Chevrolet in Phoenix. And as they project forward, even greater amount of it is projected to also to be spent with Courtesy Chevrolet located within the City of Phoenix.
Mayor, on this item, there were several dealerships listed here located outside of the city of Phoenix. I was concerned about those Phoenix tax dollars being spent outside of Phoenix, but the city manager, one, was able to confirm that most of the the spend has been within the city of Phoenix, and moving forward, there's going to be as much, if not more, of a commitment to that. So thank you, Mr. Zerker. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you very much, Councilman. Roll call.
DeCiccio. Gallego.
Yes.
Gates.
Yes.
Pastor.
Yes.
Waring.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Valenzuela. Mayor Stanton.
Yes. Next item, I believe all of 25, there was a card on. I believe that's Mr. Pat Vint. Let's do, maybe we can do a motion in favor of all of 25, holding out 25I.
Motion to approve item 25, holding out 25, all of 25, except for 25I.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Mr. Vint, did you wish to provide testimony on item number 25 on today's agenda? Up to 2 minutes. Good to see you.
Thank you very much, my friend. Anyway, thank you. My name is Pat Vint, and this item 25, I like to speak on it every week or every meeting because it goes all the way from A to M and N. That takes hold of a lot of things. The first one is probably the best one. Dustin Gardner does write an article now and then in a paper exposing the city of Phoenix, especially about the Sheraton Hotel being a disaster, costing us millions. But the very first one probably tells you why the Arizona Republic doesn't report the news. $15,218.10. That's an extra dime per month for the city to advertise about the various city departments. You know, this, if you add that up, there's 12 months in a year. That's over $180,000 that the Arizona Republic gets from we, the citizens, not you people. A lot of you don't even live in the city of Phoenix, but you're here operating, and you all have the equal votes. And Zelda, thank you for showing up. You know, you could have showed up for citizens' request, but it really doesn't matter, does it? I'm sorry to pick on you, but I have
All right,
to.
Mr. Vint, the item is on the payment ordinance. You obviously identified one item, which I'm assuming you're disagreeing with, which is the city to utilize the city page within the Arizona Republic.
You mean now you're going to tell me I can only speak on A of all the letters from A to N?
No, I was suggesting that your commentary on the attendance of members of the council was not germane to item 25.
Okay, then take item C, 25C. The city gets involved for over $11,000, right at $500 to put a bait car out. If the police did something with the crooks that are stealing the cars, they wouldn't steal them anymore. Hang them up by their you-know-what on the city steps of the city hall.
Thank
Then
you,
you
Mr.
take
Vint.
F.
Mr. Vint, thank you so much.
Thank you for your comments on item number 25, holding out item 25I. So we have a motion in favor of 25, holding out 25I. We have a second. Roll call.
DeCiccio. Gallego. Gates.
Yes.
Nowakowski.
Yes.
Pastor.
Yes.
Waring. Williams.
Yes.
Valenzuela.
Yes.
Mayor Stanton.
Yes. Do we have a motion on 25I, which is a payment to the American Association of Airport Executives to provide software maintenance services to the Aviation Department? Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve 25I.
We have a motion. We have a second. Comments? Roll call.
DeCiccio. Gallego.
Yes.
Gates.
Yes.
Nowakowski. Pastor.
Yes.
Waring.
No.
Williams.
Yes.
Valenzuela.
Yes.
Mayor Stanton.
Yes. We do have everybody, but I think we're so far along in the agenda that it's probably best just to continue. Okay. So the next item is item number 28. Do we have a motion, item number 28, designation of voting centers?
A motion to approve item 28.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Councilman Waring, do you have comments on 28? Any comments, members of the City Council?
Mayor-
Councilman Nowakowski, please.
I do. Looking at this map, I have some concerns. My first concern would be the Estrella Mountain area. There's not a voter center around in that area at all. If you can look right over here. I mean, we covered some in South Phoenix. We got one in Levine, but this whole area right here is a growing area, and there's many residents out there that there's not a center out there. So I'd like you to maybe look into it for the near future to make sure that we can create a voting center out that area.
Are we at a point where we can make suggested alternatives to it?
Mayor, Councilman Noakowski, you could continue this item if you need to, or you could adopt it and we could bring back another one if we were able to identify another solution and amend that so that we could add one if we could identify a location.
Councilman, is that your request, is to continue the items, so that way you have an opportunity to be fully briefed and have staff prepare, give the reasons why or why not, the reasons?
Yes, Mayor, I'd like to continue this, and if you can focus on the Estrella Mountain area.
So we have a motion and a second, but I also have a comment, Mayor.
Please, so the question is to continue the item for at least one reason, which is, so Councilman Makowski can be briefed on the Estrella area. Vice Mayor?
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. I think we should be looking, so another area that I'd like to focus, we have the New Hope Center out on approximately 107th Avenue in Camelback, as far west as Phoenix goes practically. And, you know, that's a center that's fairly new, and we should also look to see if that would be a viable voting center as well for the far west Phoenix residents.
Thank you very much for that. So also please, during the continuance period, meet with the Vice Mayor, and I guess each individual member of the council can request a meeting, and if they have questions or ideas about how we can improve our voting center locations. Any other comments, members of the council? So the motion is to continue for 1 week. We have a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously. Next item is, I believe, item number 37.
Motion to approve item 37.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, item 37. Mr. Vint, you have up to 2 minutes on item number 37. Item number 37 is proposed contract award for maintenance of real estate acquisition management systems requirement contracts. Mr. Vint.
Yes, I am Pat Vinn again, and you know, you skipped right over me. I had a card in there for that last item, but that's how you treat these old people in Phoenix. You don't give a damn about us. But getting to this, item 37, authorize you, Ed Zerker, the city manager, to pay for priority software to keep track of customization and reflect city processes. Ed, you know better than stick around here. Why don't you quit like Dave Cavazos did and David Cavazos? Because all they did was handpick you to cover up for them, and you know that's true. Anyway, why is this city in such a grave danger of defaulting? It's already defaulting on a pension plan, you know that. It's got to default on the Sheraton Hotel.
All right, Mr. Vint, I'm giving you some rope here, but you got to get back to item number 37, which is the contract award for maintenance of real estate acquisition management systems contract. So that's the item at hand. So are you in favor or opposed, or you want to provide commentary on that item?
I would be in favor of it if they will do their job.
Fair enough.
Something has to be done, that the city of Phoenix is held accountable and responsible for what you do. You know, the 9 of you sit up there, and you don't give a damn what happens, and according to the city charter, you can't do anything about it. You have to rely on a city manager, and if you read the city charter itself, spells it out right there. So, Ed, if you're not going to do your job, you are totally responsible for the Sheraton Hotel. 100%.
Right. Mr. Vint, once again, this is on item 37, so you got to gear your comments towards that, please.
I tried to do that. If they will do their job, but somebody has to be in charge. Somebody has to
Thank you, Mr. Vint.
manage that. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your testimony. So we have an item, motion in favor of item number 37. We have a, oh, do we not? Okay, can we get a motion in favor of 37? I apologize.
Motion to approve item 37.
Second.
A motion is second. Roll call.
DeCiccio. Gallego.
Yes.
Gates.
Yes.
Noakowski.
Yes.
Pastor.
Yes.
Waring. Williams.
Yes.
Valenzuela.
Yes.
Mayor Stanton.
Yes, item number 39 is next.
Motion to approve item 39.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on item number 39. Mr. Vint, you have up to 2 minutes to provide testimony on this item. By the way, I am in no way suggesting you did not submit a card on the voting center item. I just do not have that card. But if you want to testify on the voting center item and give us your thoughts on that, we'll accept that as well.
It was a continuance.
Thank you, but no thank you. I would like to stay on
I'm
39.
sorry, and I apologize. The issue, as Councilman Pastor correctly noted, it was a continuance, so the only appropriate commentary on item 28, the voting center, is whether we should continue or not. I apologize. So if you want to provide testimony on that, it would
when
only
I
be on
was-
the issue of continuance.
What I was trying to decide if I was going to get to speak or not, how far out in time are you continuing it?
1 week. So
1 week.
it'll be on next week if you're available. Hopefully you're able to come.
Okay, I'd like to use that time back on 28. We went to the MAG meeting last week, and within 2 hours, we had a copy of the MAG budget. And now I have some information in my shirt here that there's going to be a budget meeting tonight at 5:30 up on North 16th Street. That's going to be for the next year. I want to know for the last at least 2 years what happened to the City of Phoenix budget. Can I request that here now in front of all of you?
No,
That
you
you-
cannot. That's not an appropriate, I gave you leeway on voting centers, continuance, and/or item 39, which is assistance to firefighters, fire prevention and safety program grant. You can certainly put in writing that request or even verbally give it to the city manager, and he'll give you whatever budget for it. But that is not an appropriate request on this agenda item.
Okay, so I want to keep it on the fire department then. There's a deal here, because I know people that's in and out of the fire department that's been retired, how the City of Phoenix operates. When employees are going to retire, the last couple of years, they make it a point to work them a lot of overtime, so it builds up their retirement. But right here, there's somewhere in here, I mean, it's a lot to read. The fire department will use funds required a 5% match of $1,600 to use the funds already included a fiscal year budget meet matching requirements. But somewhere it's in here that fire department people, when they're off time, they get paid time and a half to learn how to do the fire job.
Thank you, Mr. Vent.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second for item 39. Roll call.
DeCiccio. Gallego. Gates.
Yes.
Noakowski. Pastor.
Yes.
Waring. Williams.
Yes.
Valenzuela.
Yes,
Mayor Stanton.
motion passes. Okay, next item is item 42. We have a motion for item 42.
Second, or move.
We have a motion and a second. We do have one card. Mr. Vent?
Next item on the agenda is item number, we just did, I'm sorry, please, Mr. Vent.
Yes, I am Pat Vinn again, and I hope that I could speak on all the items I requested, but you've cut us down again. I can only speak on 5 items. But you can take 4 hours on one item, or you can be 10 minutes late today. But anyway, request our city manager designate apply accept fiscal Head Start program for $27,613. Now, all that's wonderful because some kids need it because they have useless parents. But in my time, I took care of my kids if I had to work 20 hours a day, which what happens here if a citizen or if an employee works overtime, they get paid time and a half. You're going to have to do something sooner or later because we're talking about $27,613.75. But anyway, disperse the funds and services performed under this contract. You're going to have to do something different because there's 12, I guess 9, 10, 11, 12 of you that are totally control of the entire city of Phoenix. And you're looking at me like you don't want to hear what I'm saying. You better be hearing what everybody says. Most people are afraid to come down here. Look at all the empty seats. I was told 30 years ago when I first started complaining when Frank Fairbanks was on that I took too much time. and I cost too much money. If they would have listened then, we wouldn't be in a fix we're in today. But anyway, Head Start thing is a wonderful deal. And the funds parents to maintain high-quality services and programs. Why don't the parents do it before they have to have all this money, $27,000 to help them? There's jobs we could do around Phoenix.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Vint, for your testimony, and just a correction for what you said. I appreciate your support of the Head Start program. However, Head Start parents are required to actively be involved in the Head Start program in order for their children to participate. So Head Start parents are some of the most active parents that I know of, and so if you need a briefing on our Head Start program, I want to get you one because I want you to make sure you're fully informed. All right, so we have a motion in favor. We have a second. Roll call.
DeCiccio. Gallego.
Yes.
Gates.
Yes.
Noakowski. Pastor.
Yes.
Waring. Williams.
Yes.
Valenzuela.
Yes.
Mayor Stanton.
Yes. Motion passes unanimously. Next item is 46, I believe, Vice Mayor? Did we continue 45 already or not?
Item 45 is continued.
So now we're at item 46, which is establishment of the form of the ballot. Do we have a motion? We're going-
Mayor, I don't think 45 was continued. We had comments on that one. That was on the transportation tax.
I want to make sure, did we
has been-
continue it?
It was
45 has been continued.
Yes.
Okay. Obviously, Councilman, on this next item, if you want to rope in comments on 45 as part of any motion that may be on 46, that'll be accepted in light of that. So I didn't realize we missed you in terms of comments on 45. I apologize.
No, I thought that was left out purposely, too. Thanks, Mayor.
Okay, so we're on item number 46.
Motion to approve item 46.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have comments from members of this council? Councilman DeCiccio, you have comments, please.
No, I'm going to be voting no on 46, Mayor, considering what occurred in the last time we went through this with the pension initiative, where it was changed by the council the first time ever in its history. I just think that in order to have full transparency for the public, you know, for those individuals, even if one person gets disaffected by it, I think it's something that we need to be able to address, and that they should have the full ballot language in front of them. And so I'll be voting no on the measure that basically allows it to be shrunk down. I think that the entire measure ought to be in front of the public.
Thank you very much, Councilman. My request, I apologize also, is that that I think there
This
is a
will be done
desire
in a
to have at
series
least
of motions,
individual
yeah.
votes on the proposed ballot items, and obviously you reserve the right to vote no on each of them if you would like. But I think it's important that each individual council member may want to vote yes on some, no on others, and I want to give them the opportunity to do so. So it's not we can break it down to its component parts, even though it's all part of the same. We can do that now. That's a legal thing to do.
Yes, Mayor. The council has the authority to break it down in its components.
Okay, so Vice Mayor, do you have a motion
Yeah.
on one of the ballot items?
Yes, I move approval and adoption of the form of the ballot with, I move approval and adoption of the form of the ballot with regard to its general information instructions and the candidate races for mayor and council districts 1, 3, 5, and 7.
Second?
Okay.
And this is the form of the ballot for the mayor in the election. That's fine.
Correct, yeah. That's why I say some of you may
Yeah.
want to vote yes on some, no on others, and so that's who we want to be as, give you that opportunity. Okay, so the motion is on mayor and council form of the ballot. Roll call.
DeCiccio.
Yes.
Gates.
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Noakowski.
Yes.
Pastor.
Yes.
Waring. Williams.
Yes.
Valenzuela.
Yes.
Mayor Stanton.
Yes. Next item, Vice Mayor.
I move approval and adoption of the form of the ballot with regard to proposition number 100, ratification of the City of Phoenix General Plan.
Because this is the general plan portion of the ballot in August. Do we have a second on that motion?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call.
And
Oh,
Mayor,
please,
just-
Councilman, please, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, just a quick one, if I could. This is to consolidate the general plan or to put the full amount on?
So I think if we were to
Language.
vote yes unanimously, then they could do the Mr. Naymark, you explain better than I.
Mayor,
apologize.
members of the council, because this is not a charter amendment, there's no consolidation. The language is set forth both in state law and by the ordinance that you referred it to the ballot. So the language is the language that you see in your packet, and it doesn't relate to the size of it.
It's only the full language that's in there, for
That's
the
correct.
record.
That's
So-
correct.
Okay, thank you, Mayor.
Councilman Murray, question?
Tony, our discussion earlier, there's only 2 items. I mean, that's basically what you just said, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
That is
Because we had a
correct.
discussion. Okay, thank you. I'm good.
Okay, so the current item on the motion has to do with the general plan. Roll call.
DeCiccio. Gallego. Gates.
Yes.
Noakowski.
Yes.
Pastor.
Yes.
Waring. Williams.
Yes.
Valenzuela.
Yes.
Mayor Stanton.
Yes, that item passes 8-1. Next item, Vice Mayor.
I move approval and adoption of the form of the ballot with regard to proposition number 101, locally controlled alternative expenditure limitation.
We have a motion and a second. Questions about the home rule option, local control option? Okay. Roll call.
Mayor, just
please,
quickly,
go ahead.
I'm going to be voting no on this one, only because I voted no on policy. I think it's the wrong direction for the city of Phoenix. It doesn't set in place any true spending limitations. Even if we were to set this year as the benchmark and then move it forward based on growth, and that's really what the intent of this was. I think that it would be fiscally responsible for us to put in those types of limitations so that the public knows where our growth level is going to be going. The direction that this is going, I don't believe that's the right direction for the city. Thank you, Mayor. So I'll be voting no.
Thank you. Roll call.
DeCiccio.
No.
Gallego. Gates.
Yes.
Noakowski.
Yes.
Pastor.
Yes.
Waring. Williams.
Yes.
Valenzuela.
Yes.
Mayor Stanton.
Yes, passes 7-2. Next item, Vice Mayor.
I move approval and adoption of the form of the ballot with regard to proposition number 102, electronic payments.
We have a motion on electronic
Second.
payments. We have a second. Comments on this item? Questions on this item? Roll call.
DeCiccio.
I'll be voting no because I think the full language needs to be on it. No.
Gallego. Gates.
Yes.
Noakowski.
Yes.
Pastor.
Yes.
Waring. Williams.
Yes.
Valenzuela.
Yes.
Mayor Stanton.
Yes, that item passes 7-2. Vice Mayor.
I move approval and adoption of the form of the ballot with regard to proposition number 103, pension reform.
We have a
Mayor.
motion and a second on the pension reform proposal. Any comments, members of the council? Councilman?
Again, I just think that, especially on something this large, that the public should have full information provided to them on the ballot. And so I'll be voting no. I don't think that they ought to be getting an abbreviated version. They ought to be getting the full ballot language when it comes to the ballot. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Any other comments? Councilwoman, please.
I just wondered if staff could tell us how much the longer ballot will cost the city.
Mayor and Councilwoman Gallego, the longer ballot will cost approximately $75,000. That's to include the full text of the 2 charter amendments.
And is the language available to people who want to see it in the form of a packet that will also be sent to them?
Yes, and Mr. City Clerk, please correct me if I make a mistake here, but yes, there is a publicity pamphlet that is mailed to all Phoenix households, and that is included in the publicity pamphlet, the full text of all of the items.
So they will have access. This is just to give it twice to them.
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure that we are paying $75,000 for the second copy.
Is there any way we can do it 5 times to them so that they make sure that they get the information? Just
I'm
kidding,
sure on
Mayor.
social media we could do that.
$75,000 a crap.
All right.
I guess.
Thank you very much. I think the point was made is that by doing the longer form, that obviously there's additional printing costs and costs to the city. Other comments by members of this council? Councilman Waring?
How much does it cost us to not consolidate elections? I think the figure, probably for the city clerk, is about $500,000.
Do we have a,
I mean, we have
was that a
had
rhetorical
debates.
question or a real, I mean?
I'm asking if that's the correct figure. We have had discussions about this in the past. A bill went through the legislature. City of Phoenix fought that rather vociferously in court. And so I think that costs us money. We keep a whole elections department instead of consolidating with the county and having our elections in even-numbered years. So it costs us a lot of money to actually have quite a bit lower turnout than we might otherwise have. It's a curious thing. If the implication is it's bad to have transparency, and transparency is not worth the $75,000, I mean, I guess I'm curious. We're spending a lot of extra money to do the elections the way we do them as it is. Needlessly, I might add.
Mayor,
Okay, so I don't, are we prepared with an answer on that? I apologize if not, we get.
I mean, we've had this answer before, so
I can-
it's just to remind everybody where we're at.
I can give the general answer with the numbers that we've had. The cost for the city to consolidate election, when it is a state primary or general election, as occurred last November, to put that on the county ballot saves us about $500,000, assuming that the language would fit on the ballot. The one we are approving today would not, and the cost for the county would be higher than what it cost us.
But last year it would have.
The cost for the one currently, if the county were to do this election for us this year, the base cost would be $2 million as opposed to about $1.2 million for the city to do it.
But the most recent election, when this body, and I think all the members were here, were adamant that we shouldn't be consolidating elections, it cost us $500,000 extra. For the most recent year, I mean, it's last year.
Last year, by putting it on, I'm sorry, I didn't understand the question. Last year, by putting it on the general election
If we had
ballot.
consolidated elections last year, we would have saved $500,000. Take this year out of it, take this current vote out of it. Last year, $500,000 in savings.
If we'd only had the one item last November, yes. If with the items that we have now, that adds
Right,
it.
but it's not apples to apples, it's last year. Last year, we could have saved $500,000, we chose not to. So, I'm not sure cost is a driving factor in this particular vote, we'll put it that way. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Other comments? Councilman Vice Mayor, do you have comments?
I'm all for saving $75,000 this year. And I appreciate the fact that the information is going to be sent to all voters and that it's accessible to all voters. And I made the motion. I'm going to stand pat on it.
Thank you very much. Any other comments by members of this council? Okay, so we have a motion in favor of, which one are we on?
Second.
We had
Yes, and this is 103.
pension reform, okay.
Yeah.
So we have a motion in favor of the ballot item as it relates to pension reform. We have a second. Roll call.
DeCiccio. Gallego.
Yes.
Gates.
No.
Nowakowski.
Yes.
Pastor.
Yes.
Waring. Williams.
Yes.
Valenzuela.
Yes.
Mayor Stanton.
Yes, that item passes 6-3. Next item, Vice Mayor.
I move to continue the approval and adoption of the ballot language regarding Proposition 104, Comprehensive Transportation Plan, to the April 22nd meeting.
We have a motion and a second on a request to continue. All in favor, say aye.
Mayor, comments?
Councilman, please go ahead.
Mayor, and I just want to point out this on 104. This is that transportation $31.7 billion boondoggle that some up here really want to push onto the public. What you're seeing here, this continuance to move it to April 22nd, is just one more example of how this thing was predetermined, unplanned, and rushed with very little transparency to the public. This is the only reason it's moving forward. And most importantly, some, and I think it's a positive sign, are starting to see the unintended consequences of this huge tax and spend proposal. And the idea is to bring it down to $10,000. Realistically, that tax ought to be down to zero, because if you look at it, even at $10,000, and I'm glad we're moving in that direction, I think that's a positive sign, but proportionately, the working poor are the ones who are going to be paying the proportionate share more of this tax. So it's the idea of they're not even looking at these unintended consequences of these actions in a time when this economy can afford it the least. So I'm going to be voting no on 104, Mayor.
Thank you very much. So we have a motion to continue. I have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nope.
The item passes. Next item, Vice Mayor.
Motion to approve item 48.
Okay, so we're done with the form of the ballot items with the exception of the one that we continued to next week. Item number 48 is a proposed National Endowment for the Humanities Preservation Grant. We have a motion. We have a second. Councilman, do you have a comment?
I had actually a question.
Please.
I'm not sure who to ask. Is
So
there somebody up?
Is someone here from, is Ms. Brown or someone else here from the Office of Arts and Culture? All right, what's the
I guess
question? We'll try to
my
get you-
question, yep, she can hear it. So it's a $6,000 grant. It doesn't require any matching funds, so that's good. But I mean, how much staff time? I've written grants, successful grants. It takes a while. So how much time will be spent doing a grant that only nets us $6,000?
Okay, Ms. Brown, do you have an answer? Ms. Brown is the head of our Office of Arts and Culture.
Yes, Mayor and Councilman Waring, we submitted this grant last year, so we've done a lot of research and background work on it. So I don't think this will be a fairly labor-intensive process.
I mean, we'll net some money out of it. Is that the bottom line?
The value of this grant is that it allows us to hire a consultant to help us evaluate the Portable Works collection. We're going to get a lot of value out of a fairly small grant. It will allow us to think about how we can preserve this collection, which is a great asset for the city.
I guess I'm sorry I didn't make myself clear. I'm not really asking what the grant is for. I'm sure that's meritorious. It's just, are we spending more staff time than $6,000's worth putting the grant together? Because anybody who's ever done a grant, I mean, it can take quite a while, have a lot of people involved and so forth. You're saying we did it last year. Hopefully, most of the information, how to fill out the form correctly, that can be done pretty quickly. So most of this $6,000 is profit for taxpayers, effectively. Is that a fair statement?
I would say so, yes.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm good.
Thank you very much. Any other comments or questions? Roll call.
DeCiccio. Gallego.
Yes.
Gates.
Yes.
Noakowski. Pastor. Waring.
Yes.
Williams. Valenzuela.
Yes.
Mayor Stanton.
Yes, item passes unanimously. Next item is item number 54. Vice Mayor.
Yeah, motion to approve item 54.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
On a motion to continue. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes unanimously. Next item is item number 62, Phoenix Sky Harbor Terminal 4, Terrazzo Flooring. Do we have a motion on 62?
Motion to approve item 62.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? All right, I will second that item. Do we have any cards on item number 62? Councilman Waring, do you have comments on 62? Roll call.
DeCiccio. Gallego. Gates.
Yes.
Noakowski. Pastor.
Yes.
Waring. Williams. Valenzuela.
Yes.
Mayor Stanton.
Yes, that item passes 7-1. Next item is item number, did we do 63 continuance already?
No.
Please make a motion.
Mayor, I'd make a motion to continue.
We have a motion to continue
Second.
for 1 week? For 1 week, item 63. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes unanimously. Next item is 65, amendment agreement with Cybertech Systems and Software. Do we have a motion on 65?
Motion to approve item 65.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Comments? Councilman Gates?
Thank you, Mayor. Really excited about this item. It's another example where the city is investing in technology, specifically iPads, for employees, for city staff to be using these to become more efficient in their jobs and providing better service to the folks out in the city of Phoenix. So thank you very much to staff for your work on this.
Thank you very much. Any other comments, members of the council? Roll call.
DeCiccio. Gallego.
Yes.
Gates.
Yes.
Noakowski. Pastor. Waring.
Yes.
Valenzuela.
Yes.
Mayor Stanton.
Yes. We're now done with old business. We're up to new business. Vice Mayor, do we have a motion on new business?
Yes, we have my motion is to approve items 72 through 80.2, except 80.1.
We have a motion and a second, 72 through 80.2, holding out 80.1, noting that item number 79 is as corrected. Any comments on these items? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes unanimously. Item 80.1, Vice Mayor.
Motion to approve item 80.1. I'm sorry, motion to continue
Yeah.
item 80.1. Sorry,
Second.
to June 3rd.
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second to continue the item to June 3rd, 2015. We have many cards on this item, noting that the current motion is to continue this item. First speaker is Ms. Corey. Did you wish to provide testimony on the continuance? You're okay with the continuance? Thank you. Next item is not wishing to speak in favor of continuance is Ms. Rose Angelita. In favor of, I'm not sure it's in favor of the continuance or of the item, underlying item, is Ms. Jordan Rose. Are you okay with the continuance, Ms. Rose? Thank you. In favor of continuance, not wishing to speak, Gary Graham, Ms. Goodman, Patricia Goodman, Monica Kirk. Ms. Russell, are you okay with the continuance? You're okay. Okay. Opposed, and it's unclear if it's opposed to a continuance or the underlying item, so I'll let you decide whether you can only provide testimony at this point on the motion to continue, not the underlying item. Mr. Freed, Stephen Freed? Pass. Miss Cullen, Lana Cullen? David Schwartz? You want to speak on the continuance? Please come forward. Let me go through the rest of the cards to see who else wishes to speak. Mr. Ferrer, Douglas Ferrer? Did you provide testimony on the continuance? Did you? So the motion on the table is a motion to continue. So the only legal item that you can provide testimony on is whether to continue this item to June 3rd, 2015, whether you support that or oppose that and the reasons why. So it'll be, if you want to provide testimony, please come forward. We'll give you a seat. You'll be the next speaker. Yes.
And that's kind of what I wanted to find out about.
No problem. Let me make it absolutely clear, and I apologize for that. A motion has been put on the table by this body, the mayor and council, to continue this item to June 3rd, 2015. You're good with that? Okay, good. And that's seconded, and so that would be the only appropriate item for testimony at this time. Ricky Cox? You okay with the continuance? Nope, all right. Mike Rotugliano? Thank you. Mr. Wargine, is that the correct pronunciation? Jargi Wargine? I'm sorry I butchered your name. I owe you an apology, but okay, thank you. Donna Ferraro? Okay. Billy Stolworthy?
That's really what I'm asking. Is there any do we have any opportunity?
I'll put your card. You can decide after you hear the testimony.
Well, that's what I was saying. Is there any opportunity for dialogue to decide now to not have this continuance, or is it already a done deal?
Okay. So the request is for a continuance, and so Alan Stevenson is our planning director for the city of Phoenix. I'm going to see if he can shed any light as to at least his interpretation as to the rationale for the request of a continuance.
Mayor, members of council, the applicant submitted a continuance request for 2 months to allow them additional time to work with the neighborhood to try and resolve the issues regarding the zoning case. They did recently switch counsel from one attorney to another one. That's one of the reasons they're requesting this continuance.
Okay, and is there a representative of the applicant? Is that an accurate representation as to the reason for the continuance? Okay, so Ms. Schwartz, to answer your question about, I guess they switched counsel and they want some time to continue to work with folks in the neighborhood to see if there is a positive resolution to this case. So they're asking for some time to do that.
Right, and I understand that, but there's obviously an overwhelming opposition to what they're doing. What I'm saying is here today, whether it's today or June 3rd, it's still going to be the same opposition. So if there's any way at all to make a decision today to just say no to this amendment, it would be beneficial.
Okay. I turn to the councilman who represents the area as whether he wants to move forward today in light of the people who are here or move forward the continuance. His request is that we go ahead and continue it and see if we can't work towards resolution.
I think, Mayor, it sounds like Mr. Schwartz's question was, are we going to get to speak about the actual project, whatever that winds up being, on June 3rd then? And the answer is yes. I guess unless there's another continuance, which I suppose
well, and that's what I'm saying. How long can this continuance go on, to perpetuity? Or, I mean, how, like I said, a lot of neighbors here are all in the area, and we all disagree with the zoning changes that are going on. If we can stop that now and stop this time wasting and money wasting time of coming back here every time, it's going to be the same answer, whether it's today or June 3rd or August 8th or whatever. It's going to be the same thing. We oppose the rezoning of this area. So that's why I was wondering if there was an opportunity to speak today about why we're so against it.
Okay, so
Mr.
your
Waring,
reason for opposition for the continuance is because no matter what a proposed change is, you and you believe other members of the community will oppose that no matter what?
yes.
Okay, I appreciate your honesty in that
And I didn't
regard.
know if Mr. Waring,
We should at least, I think, go till the June 3rd.
but why?
Okay, so I think that, well, to
Why?
be perfectly frank, I think the council member probably wants to roll up his sleeves and see if he can't be part of a positive resolution to this case. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but that's usually why a council member would support a continuance, is because a good faith belief that there may be a resolution that can meet the requests and demands of neighbors on both sides.
Oh, Mayor, may I add
Councilman,
one
please
thing
go
too? I mean, just as a historical, what we try to do is we try to literally make it easier for people just to communicate. At the end of the day, if you're still a no, you're a no. But if, for us to cut it off short, then really gets into the public process. And we really try to give everybody every opportunity, every possible chance, so that when it's exhausted and it's still a no, then it's a firm no. Do you know what I mean? So at the very least, I mean, from my end, I'm always been favorable toward continuances up to a point. And then once that point's reached, then it's over. So it's either going to be June 3rd or it's not. I mean, I'd like to hear from the applicant too, but I think it's a fair thing to do from everyone's side. If we don't do that, then we're literally pushing one side rather than allowing that opportunity for people to be able to have a discussion on this.
And it is a long process.
Yeah,
but it's the first time this case has been before this body, and obviously we're the final stop, if you will, on the journey of a zoning case, at least within the city of Phoenix.
If it's no, it's no.
Yeah.
You know.
But the councilman still wants to at least, he's supporting the current continuance, which is till June 3rd, 2015. Obviously, you provided your reasons for opposing that. I think we respect that position. We'll see what the vote of the council is. There was a request that the applicant have an opportunity to testify on the issue of continuance, so I'll now turn to the applicant's attorney and ask if she has any information like provided the council as to the reason why you're seeking a continuance.
Sure. Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the council, for your records, I'm Jordan Rose with Rose Law Group here on behalf of Empire Group. Our reason for a continuance is simply to try to work with our neighbors. We just got involved in the case. The Village Committee and the Planning Commission voted in support, and we see there's some confusion, and we'd love to be able to meet with them and spend some time trying to resolve their issues.
Councilman Waring, your district.
Frankly, I heard from, I think, one citizen group up there when this first started with a different, as you suggested, a different firm was representing them. It wasn't people I knew. They came in. They said they represented the neighborhood. Whether they did or they didn't, I'm not saying that they didn't. I started getting emails from some of you, names I recognize, some I don't. But one in particular, I talked to the fella, and he said, I really feel like I got left out of this. I don't like that. I want to make sure everybody gets a bite at the apple. Then Empire changed to you. And so, as you know, we met. I said, go out there and meet with everybody who's willing to meet. So I would encourage you. I understand people are no. That's fine. The least you can do is at least tell Ms. Rose why you're a no. If you just don't want anything built there, then I would respectfully say maybe you should buy it and do what you want with it. But realistically, you should at least let her have a chance to say, okay, you're mad about this road or that road. Even if you're a no and against it at the end, maybe we change one of the big things that you were against. So at least it gets better. This way, if we didn't do it continuous today, the rest of these people, having almost no background in this, are voting up or down. And they could also vote to put the project you already said you don't like. It's already been through the village. Citizen volunteers have already said it's fine. Not us, but citizen volunteers. So that's just something to consider. So for those of you who said you were left out, you're not being left out anymore. Set up meetings. I believe your office has been trying to contact people. Is that correct? I've seen some email traffic. So I've talked to some of you not. But in any case, some people said, I want my neighbor to represent me. What have you. We're just not going to have the nobody talk to me about this. You're going to have 2 months to do nothing but talk about it, talk to your heart's content, and then we'll see where we are then.
And Mayor, Vice Mayor, Councilman Waring, I'll just have my senior planner, Jennifer Hall's in the audience. She just raise her hand because she really wants to meet with all of you. We really want to have a communication. We're very sincere about that.
Thank you very much, Ms. Rose. There was one other individual who was undecided. Billy Stallworthy, did you wish to provide testimony on the proposed continuance?
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
Truthfully, my question was basically the same. When we submit our comments to our city councilman, we expect them to be heard. And that is the reason why he is our councilman in our district. And this area is being considered for very high density planning, and we are definitely against that. So that would be the reason I ask, why are we continuing? And what I understand is that you're continuing for an opportunity for somebody to say, look, we want you to give our plan. And that's an unreasonable avenue to go. It's too high of a density for our area. And I hope that our councilman understands that and supports it.
All right, thank you very much for your your testimony. I
guess
I
I
can
guess
vouch for
I'll
him. He
just
reads
say-
every single email, and and every call that comes in, he's outstanding about reading every single one and replying in that regard. You'll think you'll find he's an outstanding council member to work with.
Spent quite a bit of time on this one already. I guess it's not, for those who might think it's a good thing for the developer, maybe it's a good thing for the attorney. I'll leave that between them and their fiscal relationship. But if you think it's a good thing for the developer to not develop something and have it sit there for an extra 2 months, it's not. The reason they are doing this, I mean, you're shaking your head. I don't know what you could possibly be shaking your head about it. It costs them money. They're paying taxes. They're paying attorneys. They're paying whatever. If I wanted to just support them, we wouldn't be having this discussion. I'd just vote for it and be done, which I could do today. Well, I mean, just in general to all of you, really. I mean, if I just wanted to support this, I could just vote for it.
I think his point is we shouldn't prejudge, the fact that he's supporting continuance shouldn't prejudge what his position would be.
It's actually not good for the developer to wait like this. They're doing this because I'm making them to try to make it better for you. If you're saying it'll never be better, I guess that's one.
I appreciate that that's happening, but each one of us understand that it costs money to do that.
Sure.
We're not unfamiliar with real estate development. That isn't it. And can there be something done?
Could you please come to the microphone? I apologize. Yeah, no problem.
Are we now talking about the?
I think
There is a zoning in place, and I guess we support that zoning. And that's the reason why we're here, right? The density has gone from 1 house to an acre to 37 or 35 on that piece of land, which is like R10. So that's really high. So that is not conducive to our the way we like to live and for the area. And it isn't considering the revenue that the particular area brings in with its horse community. So that's it. And so if we can have a chance to discuss that at a later date, I'll be happy to do that.
Thank you very much. It sounds like you'll be spending a lot of time with the
Yes.
council member and his staff
Thank
over the
you.
next few months, as you will with Ms. Rose and the other representatives of the proposed development. And I can promise you that this councilman will be listening with an open heart and open mind. All right, so we have a motion to continue. We have a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That item passes unanimously. We will see you in 2 months, if not before. Well, at least I can meet individually with you and other yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean necessarily in a formal meeting. All right, with that, we have no other business before this city council. This meeting is adjourned.
It's 4 o'clock. Oh.
Do we have additional citizen requests?